WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, and our website, www.wvtcdetroit.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. Thank you for tuning to WVTC Radio Detroit and the Community Bell Show with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. Stay tuned for insightful information Detroiters will find valuable. Text a friend and tell them to watch with you for news you can use. And now, your host, Edna Bell.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock, so it must be the Community Bell Show. Welcome. We're always so glad to have you join us on Mondays. And it's Monday. It's the first Monday in November. And it isn't real cold yet. We know it's coming, but it isn't here yet. So that's always good. Hey, Therese, how are you? We're glad to have you there. Community Bell Show is just always glad to have you join us. We've got very special guests today. Going to talk about some exciting things about, and I'm sure you guys already know this because I talk about it all the time. One of my favorite places, Cass Technical High School. I know the rest of you folks get mad at me sometimes about that, but It's all right. You'll understand. And I'm a Castech mom, a Castech grandma, Castech mother-in-law, Castech auntie, all that.
Yes.
So, that's just what it is. But it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. But before we do that, I want to let everybody know tomorrow is election day in many of our suburban communities. Tomorrow is election day. Southfield, Farmington, all around. Go vote. Go vote. And I know you're probably thinking, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter. You want to see what's going on right now in this country, that it does matter whether you vote or not. So go to the polls and vote. Whoever you vote for is your business, but at least go cast that ballot, because you don't have a right to say anything to anybody if you didn't vote. You don't vote, you can't complain. You can't go talking about what A, B, and C did or didn't do, because you didn't cast your ballot. You didn't have a say. So go vote. Go vote tomorrow. Okay, done with that. Now for our guest. Special. This young lady has been around for, I shouldn't say a long time, but as long as my kids have been around. So that's a long time. And she is the executive director, is that the right title? Of the Triangle Society. What is a Triangle Society, you ask? Well, it's an organization that just does good stuff. And they do good stuff for children. That's what's most important. They do good stuff for children. And we'll talk about some of that stuff a little bit later. But Monique Bryant, welcome to the Community Bell Show.
Thank you, Mother Bell. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. She's been on before, so you'll remember her having been on before. When she was on before, she was on talking about the Castech girls golf team.
Absolutely.
And we were just talking about them getting started. We were asking you folks to send some donations and to help out because they needed equipment and all sorts of stuff. Well, you did what you did, and we're so glad you did. And not only the equipment and all of that, but you gave us some prayers, and that always works. And so because of you, the Castech girls golf team, for the first time in Detroit Public School history, went to the state finals. Went to the state finals after only 3 years. Yes. Wonderful. We're so proud of those young ladies. We are so proud of those young ladies, and congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Monique, talk to us about how you guys were helpful to that golf team.
So we are a private nonprofit, and our mission is to provide resources and opportunities for students attending Castech. And so the golf team, girls golf team formed. We had been without a team for several years.
Mm-hmm.
We had an alum whose daughter was a pretty good golf player. And as parents do, they organize and get together. And we found a coach.
Mm-hmm.
And we came to you and we said, Mother Bell, we know you play golf in the community. We need to, work to get these girls some bags and some clubs. And we went full steam ahead.
Yeah.
And today they entered into the state finals and they placed 17, which is very, very, very good.
Absolutely.
For just 3 years. And first time in DPS history.
That's good news.
Or
First
DPS
time
and DPS
ever.
Yes.
The girls golf team has gone to the finals, the state finals. It was played in Lansing on the state capitol, right outside of Michigan State University. It was great to have those young girls there. So we're just real proud of them. We
Absolutely.
are very, very,
We
very
are.
proud of them. And they are scholars along with being golfers. So that's the good news.
Yes, they are. And over at Castech, we have scholar athletes.
Yes.
And I won't even mention your dear grandson, Grant, who's a class of 24.
Yes.
If we talk about the first day or first game, I saw you and his mom out.
Yes.
And we weren't sure if he was going to continue to play. He was kind of, I don't know. And look at where he is. I saw his Letterman jacket, and I was just super excited that he has just embraced it. And the boys are doing very well.
They're doing very well.
They're doing very well.
So we're just proud of them. Proud of them. Proud. Now, there's some special things going on this week. Started on Saturday, and they go on for the next few days. Talk about what you guys are doing.
So we have the Triangle Society Legacy Week, and that actually started in 2018. And what it is meant to be is a opportunity to teach the current student population what the Cass Tech legacy is.
Mhm.
We hear a lot about, superstars and different individuals that have attended Cass. But the one thing that I don't believe, because I didn't know it as a student, you could be sitting right next to someone who is going, there's the student next to you, but you don't know where they're going to be in 30 or 40 years.
Mhm.
Speaking of my lovely classmate, Wayne County Commissioner Alicia Bell,
Yes.
you just don't know.
Mhm.
And so the Legacy Week, it started with students that wanted to do some things. And so with the hiatus of COVID, we brought it back this year, but we decided to take it outside of the school walls.
Mhm.
So we have partnered with several alumni who have supported and embraced the Triangle Society. So our activities are highlighting them and what they do in the community.
Perfect.
So we had a kickoff on Saturday, and we had marshmallow roast, popcorn, music, games, and it was just an opportunity to just share stories and memories about Cass Tech. We had a alum, Denise Ford, class of 71. Her grandmother actually attended Cass and graduated in 1924.
Oh, wow.
So she's five
Five
generations in.
Wow.
Right. And so just hearing those kind of stories, it just gives me chills. People can never tell me enough stories.
Exactly.
And so yesterday we went.
Go back to Saturday,
Okay.
though. Where was Saturday? Where was it on Saturday?
So Saturday we opted for a venue that it's called On the Hill by the Michigan Eagles fraternity out on Finkel in Redford. And they have this beautiful big gazebo. And I would often pass there and I said, On the Hill, that just seems so perfect for what we wanted to do. And we hope to just build upon this every year, kind of like a homecoming celebration, if you will. It's 3 years out, but we can just see it becoming really, really huge, kind of like a HBCU, how homecoming has come, where people are traveling
from all over the world to come to the
right.
Yes,
and they embrace the students. And it's a kickoff for our fundraising season, but it's also an opportunity just to share and reconnect some of those individuals that have not been connected to the school since they've graduated.
Oh, that's great.
So it gives the students an opportunity to learn. And we had this one student, he was so cute. He said, I'll see you guys in a year. He's the 7th grader.
He's not quite there yet.
Right. But his mom said he just enjoyed himself. He roasted marshmallows and he beat us in games. And he was this. So we look and we say, that's what we want to see, that connection. And when he comes, he'll be like, Miss Berry, don't you remember me? And once they grow hair on their face and all these things, it's like, yeah, I do.
Kind of, sort of.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. And then Sunday, what happened?
So yesterday we went to the Veterans Day Parade. First time ever. But we have a very strong JROTC program, and they celebrated their 100th centennial in 2020, which got canceled due to COVID.
Okay.
But we went out yesterday, and surprisingly enough, the Grand Marshal was Vince W. Patton, who was a Coast Guard in the Coast Guard. He's retired now, but he had class of 72.
Oh, he was a Cass Tech person too.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about
that?
So Doretha Evans, who's our board member, and she's also a veteran. They connected. He lives in Maryland, and he was a Grand Marshal in New York last year.
Oh,
he
wow.
says, I'm so excited about coming home in Detroit. So he partnered with us. He's not only the Grand Marshal and came out to speak to the kids. He didn't get an opportunity to go over to the school, but he's coming back. But he spoke to them, but he's creating a scholarship.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
And so those are the things that, make Legacy Week really
Yes.
exciting because
Mhm.
people want to do things for students. They don't know how.
Yes.
So we're the kind of that bridge,
Mhm.
because Miss Berry, her daughter is now a sophomore over at FAMU.
Oh, wow.
And she graduated in 23. My daughter is now class of 26 along with Morgan.
With Morgan, yes.
And the funny thing, in 17, we were starting our beautification project, and two of your grandkids
Mhm.
and our kids were out working.
Yes.
And now
Yeah, look
they
at them.
are students there.
That's
So
something.
this is what we do to bring those students and connect them. And I believe the connection before they get to the school helps them make the transition.
Yes, a lot easier. Mhm.
And when we say we have this thing, you look to your left and look to your right,
Yep.
someone's not going to be here.
Regina Gambrell Smith, class of 82. Hey there. All right.
we know that when they come in and they have that connection
Mhm.
and they have that support, and people say, well, Cass has everything. Not. We have 2,500 plus students.
You can't possibly have
We
everything with
can't.
that many students. And you need, because you're the largest, you need the most.
Yes.
I mean, that's real simple. And I know there are those that I'm not going to call them Cass haters, but there are those people who don't think that Cass ought to have what they have and try to take some of that away. Well, think about this. How many other cities in this country do you know are defined by the high school in that city? So somebody says Cass Tech, everybody knows it's Detroit. Everybody knows you're talking about Detroit when they say Cass Tech. And I'm not talking about Michigan. I'm not even talking about the United States. I'm talking about the world. There are graduates from Cass Tech all over the world.
What do we say? We're worldwide, like a Visa card.
Yes, there you go. And so don't hate, just help.
But
help.
The great thing about that is that technicians go out into the world and make a difference.
Yes.
Teachers, politicians, athletes,
business people. Oh my goodness, entertainers,
right?
All of that.
So we start at home in our backyard, but by no stretch of the imagination, people call us up and they say, how do you manage to do what you're doing? How do you give instruments out? How do you do scholarships? And we share with them what it is that we do. And it's really hard work mixed with passion and love.
Yes.
Passion and love. My dad graduated from Northwestern. I go over there. I've donated instruments, volunteered my time over there, and we have technicians that work. So it's one of those things where we're everywhere.
Yes.
Legacy Week tonight, we're doing Hustle, and that's a 88. Steve. He is.
Where are you doing a hustle? I really do need to learn how to do more than one hustle. I can only do one. I need to learn how to do something more than that.
I'm still doing Stevie Wonder.
That's the only one I know how to do.
I'm still doing that one. But we're over in Southfield tonight at the City Hall.
Oh.
And that's from 7 to 9.
Okay.
So his beginners to intermediate. Tuesday, tomorrow, kind of like our day off. But Wednesday, our big day, and I'm so excited about that one. We're doing a dine out at Chick-fil-A. And so that is another.
Talk about the person who owns Chick-fil-A.
She's another Cass technician, class of 86. She's an owner operator over there on Middle Belt in Plymouth. She was a harp and vocal girl. She has supported that program immensely. And so the dine out is where she's hosting. She's also a U of M grad.
All right.
So lots of networking there. And, she's rolling out the green carpet for us.
All right. Green carpet. I love it. And what time is that?
So we will be over there starting at 4.
Okay.
But orders from 5 to 7, both in store and online. Those donations will be going to the Triangle Society.
Oh, how great.
And if you're not able to make it, you can certainly visit our website at thetrianglesociety.com. We have a donation link there. We also have an event page where you can see all of the events on Thursday night. We're floating around. There's a couple of games, and we just you'll see postings that we have. But Friday we're over at Baker's.
Okay.
And we're supporting one of I don't even know. He's in a category by himself. Ralph Armstrong, bassist.
Okay.
He's played with some of the most amazing people. One of my favorites, Aretha Franklin, another homegrown. Santana. I mean, he works tirelessly with our music department, working with students over there with the jazz ensemble. He worked with us the past 3 years. We bought a customized drum set.
Wow.
For the band, couple of instruments, and just a host of things. And I mean, when I tell you, he comes over and he says, Monique and Terry, I need something for my babies. And we're like, what do you need, Ralph?
Mm-hmm.
And he rolls his sleeves up. He makes phone calls, which is how we got the customized drum kit from a store out in Rochester.
Okay.
And you can see that on our website.
Wow.
We went to New York 2 years ago, year before last. Ralph Carter, who's another bassist for Cass Tech. He had celebrated his 80th birthday at Carnegie Hall. Oh my! I mean, just amazing. And that's one of the things that going to Cass, it exposes you to so much.
Yes.
I never, ever thought I would be doing what I'm doing now with this mission that I'm on. And I know that helping these kids is going to help them in the future. It is exposing them. Like we said at the start, no golf team. You had kids that played golf at a high school and they're like, we want golf. And
Yes.
the parents and alumni, we got together
and made it happen.
and made it happen. And that's what we are here to do. Make it happen. They come to us and they say, well, we say, listen, if you're willing to roll your sleeves up and do the work, we'll get some donations. We'll get some support. And there you go. So there's our legacy.
Clearly
week.
It works. It works. Now, did you say Thursday or Friday for Bakers?
Friday we're at Bakers.
Friday at Bakers. Okay.
At 8. And we'll probably have a few of our alumni students out playing.
Okay.
That's another great thing that Ralph does. They are musicians that they are hired.
That's
there
you go.
They are actually out working. A few of them are over at Wayne State. Taylor,
Yay!
she's a bassist. Yeah, she's over there. We've given scholarships, and this money that we raise now, and our goal, by the way, is 100,000 this year.
All right.
That's right. It increases. And
gotta have a goal.
From 2017 to now, we've raised $280,000.
Wow.
With the help of our alumni, our community, parents, just everyone. So, and those things that we've been able to do, those kids, we're seeing the fruits of our labor.
Clearly.
And so Legacy Week is going to be celebrating those accomplishments for years and years. We're 116 years old, starting on the 3rd floor at Cass Union. And really, when I came to Cass, my cousin had attended and graduated in 1968, but I've come to realize I've had a great aunt who graduated from Commerce, who worked for the city of Detroit in the Detroit Police Department. And my other aunt graduated and she worked for the state of Michigan.
Wow.
So
it's really,
if you look, we all know someone.
Oh, we all know somebody
that graduated from Cass Tech.
Yes. And interestingly enough, and a lot of the young people don't know that Commerce was right across the street from Cass.
Absolutely.
Now it's 275 or whatever it is, 375. It's I-75. But that's where Commerce sat. Commerce was on one side and Cass Tech was on the other side. And the young ladies who wanted to be in business and type and shorthand and all that went to Commerce. And the other kids went to Cass who wanted to be in some other kind of fields. but they don't know that commerce was right on the other side. And we've got all sorts of wonderful people who went to commerce who ended up in great
Right.
places for the state, for the city. I mean, all over the place.
Well, technicians built this city.
Mhm.
A lot of people, I didn't know where the school, how it came to be. But the Triangle Society is named after the triangular piece of land that was donated, that the first Cass Tech building was built on.
Okay.
And so from there, they saw a need. There was high unemployment in the city of Detroit.
Mhm.
And they modeled Cass Tech with the European educational system, which was preparing kids straight out of high school for jobs. So when you look at Ford, a lot of the companies where technicians went from graduation and trade, just to think trades are coming back now. That's a big
Yes.
thing.
Trades
But
are
Cass
big
Tech
things.
was a
Mhm.
trade school.
Yes.
HVAC,
HVAC.
right? We had printing presses in the school, all of those things. And so now that we're reverting back to, we had gotten away from the trades and going to college. Now we're reintroducing that to our students. We have the School of Business with the Illages that the kids are going over to. There's dual
Absolutely.
enrollment with
Yes.
WC3.
Yes.
A lot of exciting
Mhm.
things for our students, but not everyone is going to go to college. So we've got to, make that transition
Absolutely.
and support those kids.
Who want to do something else. And
Right.
especially when you look at what's going on now, is when people are building all sorts of things, they need those people who can do the electrical work and the
Mhm.
plumbing work and the bricklaying and all those kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Because they don't have enough of them. We've got to import people from other states now, which really knocks me out to
Right.
do some of that.
Right.
And we can grow our own. And that's the good thing about the new facility that's on Grand River and American, right? Just
Yes.
west of Livernois, where the carpenters and millwrights have built a center so that they can do training for young people and they can get paid while they train. And young people, you're looking for a skill that makes lots of money.
Right.
Check that out because you can get paid while you train. And once you get the job, you make a lot of money.
Right.
And then you can own your own business and make even more money and then employ
Absolutely.
some other folks. And so there's a reason for that.
And speaking of that, I have to mention Dayana Johnson. She's the class of 11. She was a harp and vocal girl. She played basketball. We had her do the catering for our event on Saturday. And so this is what we're talking about. And by the way, her younger brother is a class of 25.
Wow.
So this is what we do with Legacy Week. We match, our younger alumni. We bring them back in. They can embrace the students. They're sharing. Then there's an opportunity there to open up where we can maybe match some of our students to work
Yes.
alongside of our legacy alumni. And that's so you're learning the skill right as you're in high school. And you get an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what's so important. And I mean, my prayer is that people see our Legacy Week and they implement that across the district at some of their schools, because there are some amazing people that have graduated in our school system. And so we just have to reignite that passion, get involved, as you just said.
Yes.
The involvement is the most important thing, and you don't have to be an alumni of a school.
No,
you
don't
have to just offer something.
Because Jay Whoopi, I graduated from Northern High School. That is no longer open, but that's okay.
But you know what? I will tell you, FDA, Frederick Douglass, has moved over to Northern. This is their first year. So how exciting is that? So now I'm going to tell Miss Bill she's got to go over there and adopt some of those grandbabies over there, those young men.
Yeah.
My son attended Frederick Douglass, and they were over at Murray Wright, but now they're over there at Northern. So there is such a great opportunity to embrace our young people here in the city of Detroit. And I can't say it enough. We need every volunteer in hours, your skills, your prayers.
That's
Prayer
right.
is most
Pray-
important.
And what's that about train them up in the way they should go?
And
We've got to
absolutely.
train them. And you don't blame these children. Parents have a responsibility to get these children to school on time, make sure that once they are there that they're doing the right thing. They have a responsibility to make sure that they have the kind of equipment they need to succeed, and they have a responsibility to help those children succeed. So this thing about, oh, they're 12 years old now, they can get up and do it on their own. No, they can't,
No.
because they can't do theirs. And then you want them to take care of the younger sisters and brothers too. That's not acceptable, parents.
Look, can I tell you, I'm out in the morning helping them cross the street.
Yeah.
So look, we have a traffic jam,
Mhm.
and it's amazing. Just that basic kids where, you step out, remember, look both ways, and then
Yes.
you cross.
Mhm.
They jump out the car and just
run.
and I'm out there blowing the horn. I say, hey, you got to look both ways. So our kids, they need us with just the simplest things.
Yes.
We have gotten away from those skills.
Mhm.
And that volunteering, just showing them some love,
Yes.
and embracing them. And we talk about, kids today, but how I always say, be the change that you want to see.
Yes. Yes.
So stop talking about them,
Mhm.
roll your sleeves up and put your arm around them and hug them and embrace them and say, hey, let
You
me
can do
show
this.
you. Right.
You can do this.
And you can become auntie, grandma.
all of that.
That just kills me. But I embrace that. And some people are like, well, I only have one. It's 2,500 kids
All
in
of them
Cass Tech. They're all of
Mhm,
my
mhm.
little nieces and nephews.
Yes. Yes.
It's not one thing that
Mhm.
they come to me and Miss Berry, and they say, can we look, we'll figure out,
We'll find a way.
let's figure out what we can do and make it happen. And that makes school more exciting.
They want to come to school.
They want to come to
They
school.
want to come to school. And
yeah.
they feel safe. That's the other piece.
Yes.
And we've got to make sure that they feel safe, they feel loved, and they feel that they can do, because they can. And they can do what most kids can't do.
That's right.
They're good.
Education can be exciting.
Mhm.
And if you talk to someone who is excited about coming to school,
Yeah.
I mean, when I walk into school, I'm like, oh my gosh, I spend more time at sports and other outside activities than I did as a student in school. I thought, where did I miss all this stuff? But that excitement transfers to the kids.
Yes.
When you come to their games, and you come to recitals and a lot of that makes the difference.
They are so happy to see people there. They're so happy to see you. And when you are excited with them, yeah, they're excited. They just love it. Because some of these kids, I don't know who they are, but that's okay. When I'm in the parent room at Cass and they come by and, Miss Bill, can I have a water?
Look.
Sure. But first you have to give me a positive affirmation. Make them
Right.
write a positive affirmation.
Oh, I love that.
And stick it on the wall. And then I don't care what they write, as long as it's something positive. And they, okay, bye, Miss Bill.
And what I love most too about our legacy is our teachers.
Mhm.
So Mr. Potterella was my math teacher, and you can call him up. He knows everything. He has just about every yearbook from every year he taught.
Oh, wow.
Miss Green, who's the current English teacher, teaches AP. I follow her on Facebook for her funny stories. I mean, those are the things that get kids excited.
Yes.
And not everything is publicized. So I want to thank everyone who donates anything, their time. We've had books donated to the media center,
Mhm.
to make sure kids can read the book, the required reading, just the little things. And some people, they don't even care to be acknowledged.
Yeah. Yes.
They
yes.
just do it because it's the right thing.
Exactly.
But I want them to know that it does matter. And when we go to graduation, which I'll see you 3 years in a row.
Oh, look at that. Once I
Starting
get
this
going,
year.
boy,
You're on a roll.
I'm on
But
a
when
roll.
you-
I'll be there
When
for a
you
while.
see those 550 babies walk across the stage with scholarship after scholarship, and you know that they have jobs awaiting for the summer with the internships and other, I cry like a baby every year. Absolutely. I do.
It really is. It's so heartwarming to see it. And I think back to when I was on the school board back in the 80s, and and then you go to the graduations. What was so interesting, we had to shake all 520. And in those days, the graduates it was 800 graduating instead of 500.
Right.
You stood there. And I always said, okay, you're going to wear a pair of comfortable shoes this year, girl, because you can't stand up and shake all these hands and your feet not hurt. But it was such a wonderful experience to see the kids, their parents, their grandparents, and all the relatives. It was just a wonderful experience to be able to say to those kids, congratulations.
But how many of them have come back to say, Miss Bell, I remember when?
They do. And I try to act like I remember. I don't remember all of them. I try to act like, oh, sure. Sorry, gang. I don't remember all of you, but I just love you anyway. If you tell me, I shook your hand because I'd go to Cass Tech. If Cody was in my district, I'd go to Cass Tech, Cody, and McKenzie. Those are my three.
Yes. and Cody was my neighborhood high school in McKenzie. But I just think, that is something. Kids, but you do have some people that just make that impression. You like, I know, I want to see what this kid is going to do.
Yes.
And it's not always the kid that was the straight A's.
That's right.
It was the one that, you might have had to
help along.
Shake your finger at, get to class.
Yes.
And I won't say, everyone is not going to be that 4.0, but that you got to keep it 2.5 to stay
there.
Stay in the seat.
Stay there. Yes.
Right. And your 2.5 at Cass Tech may be a 4.0 somewhere else. So you know that student right there, and I look and I just reflect on some of my own classmates, and I go, Dr. So-and-so.
I never thought they would do that.
In the class, I was helping them in their science. But you just the love and the legacy. I just, every day there's something and someone from Cass Tech in the news. And I just think, wow. And we attended the pancake breakfast.
Yes, the alumni pancake breakfast. And when you look at Miss Phillips, and Miss Phillips, everybody, is the principal of Cass Tech. But see, when I first met Miss Phillips, she was my kid's English teacher.
She was.
At Cass Tech.
Yes, she
and
was.
That was a long time ago. That was a long time. But now she's the principal.
Yes.
And she is so dedicated to those children. She is always out there trying to find money for them to go to school, and she finds millions and millions and millions of dollars in scholarship money for those young people. And she collaborations like with Wayne County Community College, the School of Industry, Illich School of Wayne State Business School, that's like 2 blocks away from Cass Tech now.
Yes.
And but Morgan, my youngest one, had dual enrollment at this School of Business with Illich and Wayne State and Cass Tech. You don't get those opportunities everywhere.
You don't.
And so when those kids come out, they will already have enough credits to be a sophomore in college.
Right.
And
so if you didn't get a scholarship, there's 2 years less that you're paying out of pocket.
That's right. You're not paying for all that money.
Right.
And you don't have that many years left to go. So it's just so many opportunities for them right here in the city. The other thing I want people to hear about is the Detroit Promise, because it's interesting now. A lot of folks moved out of the city, but now a lot of them want to be back in the city because of Detroit Promise.
Right.
And now they're trying to give addresses and say, well, my daughter lived with her father, but can she get the Detroit Promise?
Right.
No, her address was with you.
Right.
That's the legal address you gave. She might
Right.
live with him for every now and then, but you gave the legal address that was somewhere outside of Detroit. And so, no, she's not eligible for the Detroit
Right.
Promise Scholarship.
Yep. So the Detroit Promise, you must live within the city
Mhm.
for 4 years. There's 2 years scholarship for community college,
Mhm.
and then there's 4 years for say Michigan State, U of M, Wayne State, and this was all before COVID.
Yes.
And a lot of dollars sat because people just didn't realize that their students qualify for that.
Yes.
But we
Yes.
want to make sure that there's a district opportunity center that's right next door to the Fox Theater.
Yes.
Your students can go there, learn about different trades. And in the city of Detroit, I mean, even if you have just recently graduated from a DPS school or within the city of Detroit, and it's a school, you are probably eligible for this Detroit Promise or some type of skill trade training.
Yes.
We talk about that all the time. There's a second phase going on of building with District Detroit. So we're going to be building. I see newer schools. We're building 5 new schools, but we're going to need more. We're housing. So those things is what. I don't want to just keep saying hopping Cass Tech, but that is what the school was founded on.
Yes.
You know, filling in those gaps. So if we can just get our kids back into trades and being ready in 2 or 3 years, you're going to make about $50,000 to $60,000 right
to start with.
To absolutely
And
start.
Detroit Promises for any young person at any Detroit public school.
Yes.
Who graduates, well, is it a 2.5 or a 2.0?
Well, with that one, I believe it's a 2.0.
It's a 2.0.
But, you know, that's usually to get in most of your schools. Now, if you have anything below that.
You got to get accepted now.
You'll probably be accepted, but now you've got to take those courses to get ready.
Yes.
Just to get, you know, to the level, the first year level. You're taking like English 100.
Yes.
And if you
preparatory courses,
right, and hopefully
that's because you didn't go to class. See,
see
now let me tell you, that's why. That's because you didn't go to class. If you go to class, you wouldn't have to take those other courses to help you get up to speed.
Yeah.
So go to class.
Right.
Listen to the teacher. Do your homework.
Yeah, and take advantage
of all these things that are there for you. You don't have to beg for them. They are there for you. They're trying to give it away. Right. Accept it, please. It's there for you. And you will be so much more the better for it. Your parents will love it because they won't have to spend as much money.
Right. And parents are even eligible as well.
Yes.
You know, so some parents who, you know, want to go back to school and learn a new trade or, you know, just brush up, they're eligible.
They can do it too.
So a whole family, you know, take advantage of those things. And certainly, you know, there are in school, our PTSAs, our alumni association, everyone should have this information.
Absolutely.
So it's not a secret. You know, your students have access to it, and as a parent, you have access to that information.
Yes,
and that's what we want to make sure that we're taking advantage, because these are our tax dollars.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of it came through COVID. A lot of it just came with the increases with the governor. You know, increasing some money, some funds. So let's everybody take advantage.
It's important. It is important that you take advantage of the educational system. Do yourself a favor, do your children a favor, do your community a favor by making sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and your community. It is so important that, as they say, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Do it. It's important for you and your children.
Yeah, I feel like we should just be driving around ringing a bell. The community bell from
everybody.
Because
it's time.
The one thing people say, I didn't know about that. And I'm going, you have to see, is, you know, as they say, it's not going to come to you.
You got to go get
it. You got to get up, get out, and do something.
That's right.
So when we see all these billboards across the city, we have these flyers coming in our mailboxes. There's a Detroit app that you can
Yes.
download on your phone. I have mine. Wayne County. They're giving out information. It's just overwhelming. So if you want to do something, it's not that difficult.
That's right. Take advantage
not
of
that
it.
difficult.
It's out there for you. Want to thank Monique for being
Well,
on
thank
today.
you. It's
Want to
such a
thank you for talking
pleasure.
about the Legacy Week. The Legacy Week, Cash Tech Legacy Week, but it's Legacy Week for the Triangle Foundation, Triangle Society.
Yes.
Take advantage of it. Friday night, Baker's Keyboard, music.
Wednesday, we're
is the
over at Chick-fil-A in Livonia.
Owned by a Cash Tech Detroit Public School
Vicky
graduate.
Brown, yes.
And I pass that. Go by there.
Absolutely.
Great spot.
And what's our motto is, some have a story, but at Cass Tech, we have a legacy, 116 years. And this is the time, if you want to be a petty technician, wear green from head to toe, come out and scream Cass Tech #1, second to none.
All of that. It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
We welcome that. This is your time to shine.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on. We appreciate it. We'll have to come back and then we'll talk about the results of Legacy Week with the Triangle
we will, because
Society.
we've got some
You got some
exciting
more
things
stuff coming?
coming. Oh,
Well,
absolutely.
We want to hear about it. We want to hear about it. Thank you so much for joining us on the Community Bell Show. It's always a pleasure because we always have wonderful guests. Monique Bryant, wonderful guest. Thank you for being on. Terry Berry, who is the other part of the Triangle Society,
Yes.
her partner in crime and all that other good stuff.
My classmate,
classmate.
I mean, it's a Cass Tech thing.
It is. And of course, I've known them since they were in high school, since they were all classmates with my daughters. So life is good.
We're all 35.
Yes, bless. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next Monday. Community Bell Show, 4:00. Don't miss it. We'll have another great guest for you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Community Bell with your host, former Wayne County Commissioner Edna Bell. This broadcast was brought to you by WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, tell a friend to tune in. We'll see you next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern to the Community Bell Show, right here on WVTC Radio Detroit.
We are WVTC. What is Detroit Gospel Internet Radio? What it is? We're gospel music, preaching, teaching, encouraging. What it is? All up in what it is. The community. What it is? WVTC. In your neighborhood, it's what we do. What it is.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.